What are your dreams? What are your wants? Do you want to grow your business? Help you crush your goals personally, professionally, and financially? Just join the conversation. What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. People on live on Facebook, welcome to the call. People on YouTube, welcome to the call. First of all and foremost, prayers to the people at MSU and Michigan State University of the tragedy of the shootings. Let's just take a moment in silence and just pray for the people and the victims involved, and much love. Let's just give me a moment. It's close to home. I'm from Michigan. My daughter might even go to Michigan State, but if we could just take a time and just pray for those people in your head, and we'll move forward. But give me a minute. All right, guys. On a somber note, that was the MSU thing, but happy Valentine's Day to everybody on the call. People on Facebook, happy Valentine's Day. People on live on YouTube, happy Valentine's Day. It's hard to transition to what the tragedy that just happened yesterday, but we have to move on, right? And so all the newcomers, everybody watching the recording, everybody doing this, welcome to these calls. And as we talked about before, these calls are meant to define the game you want to play. They're defined to make the best version of yourself, to play some people are stuck. Some people don't know what they want to do in life. They don't even know how to get started. But these calls, the intentions of these calls are to help you in any way, shape, or form to become not only the best version of yourself, but become the best version of you and your family in this world. So whether you're an inspiring young student, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're just getting started in and trying to figure your life out, whether you're a young dentist, you're a dental professional, dental assistant, whatever it is, if you're just trying to grow, and even if you're a retiring dentist, these calls are meant for you. And my hope is that you take away some of the tips and all the tricks that I do, not only every single day, but consistently on a daily basis, because that's what life's about. Skylar, being consistent every single day. Gabby, Linda, Mitch, what's up, Mitch? My love for you, bro. Doing things every single day, become the best version of yourself. You got to be consistent. It's not about whether you do things randomly. It's about being consistent. And as I told you before, I'm Dr. Bobby Grassi. I just turned 50 Saturday. I had my wife Sunday, excuse me. My wife had the greatest surprise party ever in the history for me. And some of the people that are on these calls were there. But thank you so much for celebrating your 50th with me last week. And now I'm officially 50. So it's kind of crazy to be half of a century. But in our last conversation, we kind of talked about the law of attraction. We talked about how to transcend things, or how to transcend concepts and becoming a powerful tool for the entrepreneurs. How entrepreneurs that can attract things by embracing the principles, with professionals finding themselves empowered to manifest their vision, their dreams, their wants by just positive thinking. But this week, we're going to talk about something empowering your beliefs of the wealthy. Like, what do some of the wealthy people do? Like, what is their belief system? And how do you think, how do you possibly think empowering yourself with beliefs actually leads to health? See, when you develop a strong belief in yourself and your ability to achieve, that is the first step of your successful journey. It wasn't until I believed anything is possible. We talked about it last week. I am the voice. I lead, not follow. Believe, not doubt. Create, not destroy. I'm a force for good. I defy the odds. I set new standards and I step up. I said that last week. And I say that all it was doing was creating this strong belief system. It was empowering. Your subconscious mind does not know what's happened or not happened. If you write a goal that says, I want to have money versus I have money, it's two different things. All your subconscious hears is you want to. So what ends up happening is you keep chasing what you want and you never get it. That's important. I want you to hear that. If you say, I want to be debt-free, well, you're never going to be debt-free. Because with the law of attraction and belief system in your mind, you're always chasing something. Thumbs up if you understand that. But if you said, I am debt-free, it's totally different. It's a different concept. So when you empower yourself with beliefs, when you empower yourself with everything, it gives you the perseverance. It allows you to make smart decisions. It allows you to take calculated risk. It even self-motivates you in a way to possibly grow financially through hard work and money management, right? That's what that does when you create a belief system. At its core, though, lies the empowering mindset that fuels the ambition. If nurtured, this can kind of go to levels you never thought possible. It gives you substantial progress towards your financial rewards of beyond belief. What people do a mistake, I wrote this down. Success is something you attract by the person, not what you pursue. Jim Rohn said that. Success is something you attract by the person, not what they pursue. And you might mean, what do you mean by that? Success is how you believe. It's what you think you're capable of. You're not pursuing it. You got to become it. You got to become success. You got to become wealth. You got to define what that means. Most people work harder on their job than they actually work on themselves. Yes, you all work hard. And you're wondering why you can't get ahead in life. Why can't I get successful? Why can't I do this? Because you're working so hard on the outside job that you're not working on yourself. Success is nothing you pursue. You can never catch the butterfly flying. You can try to catch the dang thing. You'll never catch it. You got to become it. Thumbs up if you understand that, guys. Live on Facebook, everybody, thumbs up if you get that. You got to become what you want. You got to have the belief system that you're capable of doing anything. From Shane to Mario to everyone else that's on this call to Guy. You got to embody what you want. And the wealth often have certain, I guess I'm not part of the wealth. I'm getting there. The wealth have a certain belief system and mindset that contributes to their financial success. You must absolutely positively believe that anything is possible. It sounds like Kevin Durant, or excuse me, the gentleman that won, Kevin Garnett, won the basketball championship with Boston Celtics, and their rallying cry was anything is possible. And that's when Ray Allen, and I can't remember the other guy that was with them, but the big three-headed monsters, they won the championship in Boston, and that was their rallying cry. Anything is possible. Anything is possible by just believing it, right? It first starts with a belief system in yourself, and that's really what the mindset is. You got to believe that you're capable of doing things. That's the unthinkable. When I was born and raised by a single mom in Flint, Michigan, I could have been a statistic. It was not my mom's belief in me. It wasn't Guy's belief in me. It's not my wife's belief in me. It's got to be the belief in yourself. Anybody can believe in you, but if you don't believe it in yourself, you'll never accomplish it. The wealthy have an undeniable belief system, because you got to understand there are going to be haters out there. There are going to be people that will always try to knock you down, and people might say it's not possible. And you might say, well, what do you mean it's not possible? Because it's never happened before in our family. We're different. Have you ever heard that, guys? No, that can't be done. It's never been done. Thumbs up if you've ever heard that. Thumbs up if somebody ever said you can't do it because it's never been done. But of course you can. You're no different than anybody else. Most people don't. It's not a money problem. You don't ever have a money problem why you can't do things. You might lack some ideas, but you lack ideas because you're not learning from the people that have already done it. You're not really comfortable with making decisions because you've never had to do it. It's not a money problem. It's more of a belief problem. Anybody that believes, I like I said, I had no money going to dental school. My mom made $18,000 a year. I'm going to keep repeating this. And then she didn't have the money to put me through dental school. She didn't have all this unlimited ability. I didn't have the means to pay for dental school. I had to grind it out. I had to work third shift at GM while I was going to dental school. I had to get help from family and friends. I had to find a way. I had to take student loans. But I knew that if I could do that, then and I could start creating results, you create this belief. When you believe in your ability to create wealth, what you become is what you attract. Achieving success, right, in the financial arena starts with just simply a positive mindset. It starts, always will. Can I create wealth? I don't care if nobody's ever created wealth in your family. And wealth is different than money. When I talk about wealth, guys, whatever wealth means to you is what I'm talking about. You can attract anything you want. If it means you attract a wealth of love, then you got to become that love. So many times people are trying to attract things or become things that they're not. That's why it always starts with yourself. It always starts with you. It always starts with how you can become the best you. And then you get what you put out, right? If you want money, you must give money. If you want love, you got to give an abundance amount of love. And it was more evident than I've ever believed, the love that I must be giving out, the love that I got shared on my 50th birthday. Because the amount of love that was in the room, and if you were there, and some of you were on the call was there, it was undeniable. It was undeniable, the amount of love that's in there. That means I must be attracting what I want. I want that love. That's wealth to me. I want a healthy body. That's wealth to me. It's not always finances. But when you have faith in your own abilities, that is the key. That is the instinct, is the key. This will allow you to remain focused, motivated, and able to stay disciplined when you're faced with these challenges, because you're going to be faced with challenges. You're going to be faced with hard decisions. You're going to have to stand alone. You're going to have to be the only person who believes anything is possible at times. You're going to have to show people in their mindset what the impossible is and how you made it possible. You have to cause and create anything you want in your life. You got to be the version of yourself that you want the universe to understand. You got to be the version of yourself that you want people to understand. Take ownership of your future. When you take ownership of your future, it can lead to greater feelings of control. I promise you, nobody else can control you. Nobody. You're responsible for your emotions. You're responsible for how you respond. You're responsible for everything you have in your life. If you don't like where you're at in life, look at what you've done. It's the decisions you've made in your life. It might be your own belief system. You might not even believe it's possible. Belief systems and relying on others to help you guys, that's okay, that's great. You can rely on others to help you, but believing in yourself is what empowers you. You don't need other people to believe in you. You don't. You need you to believe in you. Because I go back to the Bible all the time. If something you want, whatever you want, it says you attract, you're the fruit of the words, you become what you are. Success doesn't, you don't pursue success, you attract that success by who you are. If you truly, Skylar, on this call, if you truly don't believe it's possible, you're always going to be right. I'm going to remember that. Whatever you think, you're right. People always say, I'm always right. But you're right, because you always attract what you're right. And you might say, well, that's easy for someone to say if they have money. It's easy for someone to say that because I don't have that money. Look at, you get out of life the value you give life. Money comes to you when you give a value. It's a perceived value. Use money as a tool. When you have money, or even if what the wealthy do, they use it as a tool. They understand the knowledge that money is a powerful tool. Wealthy individuals use their resources to create systems of abundance. I see kids every day. I yell at my kids every single day. And if you do this, I'm going to tell you, be cautious, because money's a relationship. And remember when I say this, I see my kids, they take dollar bills and they crinkle it up and they roll it up and they throw it in their pockets. And every single time, I wish they were on the call right now, every single time I get so mad at them because they're not taking care of the money. And you might say, dude, they're just rolling up dollar bills. I know. Could you imagine if money's a relationship and you take your relationships and you crinkle them up in the ball, you roll them up and they can't even stay straight anymore, you throw them in your pockets? Do you really think that money would want to come to you? Do you really think if you don't treasure what that is, if you don't appreciate that relationship, if you don't nurture that relationship, if you don't care for that relationship, that it's really going to attract you? The answer is no, because you must always nurture and give what you want, right? You got to go through the journey. Success is hard. People want success right away. They got to believe in themselves. They want the process. They want everything to be so fast. That's not how it works. But when you use money as a tool, when you use it as just a means to an end, or just as a stepping stone, it's just a tool in your toolbox. You can create these systems of abundance. And through these processes, it can secure you a total amount of stability and opportunity for those around you, right? Then these mindful investments, when you do that, they serve an avenue for the financial success, but also support betterment on both your personal and global scales. But understanding, then you got to understand, okay, you use your money as a tool. You got to understand financial literacy. We talked about this a little bit before, right? What does compound interest mean? What is the language of financial literacy? Do you understand it? I think more and more of these young adults are getting a little bit better. They understand the importance of personal finance and investing. They're equipping themselves with knowledge to reach their goals. But I think we fail as a society. We fail as an educational system of really teaching money and management. And that's why you see so many people, whether they're athletes, no matter what it is, that go broke. They lose their money. They don't have it because they don't understand it. They don't understand finances. They don't understand how it works. But with wealth of resources available, they understand that their education holds keys to achieving long-term financial stability. So no matter how complex it may seem at first glance, it's easy to achieve it when you understand financial literacy. It's easy to understand what to do. And then once you understand, you understand money as a tool, and you understand that there's a financial literacy to everything, you got to be disciplined. And I've talked about before, like when I first was starting to make money, I wasn't disciplined, right? I was spending as much as I have. And we talk about Parkinson's law. We talk about Parkinson's law in the sense that your debt always rises to meet your income. But financial success isn't just about large sums of money, but rather the discipline and smart decisions, making that those with wealth practice and handling their funds, right? So you got to know what to do. I talked about a wealth creation formula. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, I talk about 7 steps of wealth creation formula. And it's something I've learned from a lot of people, from the Grant Cardones of the world to the Richie Dones of the world to even Ken K, right? And it's you increase, you have a job, right? Then you get your income, you save, right? And then you invest, and then you create multiple flows of incomes, and then you save some more, and then you invest, and then you create even more multiple flows, and then you save, invest. And a lot of times we talk about, if you want lasting prosperity, right? It lies in setting clear financial goals and spending within your means. So you don't invest right away. You got to invest smart. You got to know when to invest. You got to be disciplined. You got to know what to create, how much money it is, what's your comfort zone, what it's not. But once you know what your comfort zone is and your financials are, you got to be comfortable taking risk. One of my biggest issues in my life is I always had a fear of going broke because I grew up with no money. And so it was really hard for me to let go of money. Is there anybody on the call just with a thumbs up that understands how hard it is to kind of let go of money? You have these dreams inside you, but for some odd reason, you don't pursue them because of the simple fact that you don't think you can, or you're just uncomfortable? Of course. But all wealthy people, see, everyone says, I love when people say it's not fair that the CEO of a company makes the most money, or it's not fair that the owner of the company is not treating me right. Guys, they're the ones that he or she is the one that puts their neck on the line. They put their neck on the line at everything. They take the risk. The difference between them and you is they took a risk you did not. If you're working for somebody, they're taking the risk on their dreams. They believe that anything is possible through hard work. That's what's great about America. And I know not everybody on this call is from America, but free will and to be able to create your own companies and LLCs and S Corps and C Corps and taking the risk and be able to have the right to do whatever you want in the country we live in of America. It's amazing. Canada, the same way. You have the ability to do things that other countries don't. But you got to be able to take the risk. But you got to take the proper calculated risk. And that's what's going to give you the long-term stability and growth, right? By providing the potential rewards. Risking it all is never wise, though. That's why I say you get your income, you save and you invest. And I talked about one of the things that don't just save $10,000 and then go invest all that $10,000. That's not what I mean. Like I always tell young entrepreneurs, when they're deciding, hey, they really want to grow, they want to invest. One of my things for dentists, and if you're a dentist on the call, you can take this, feel free to use it with it, is when you're running a business, one of the biggest stresses of running a business is not having enough for payroll. I mean, it's always been one of my biggest stresses in life was, how do I pay my team? At the end of the day, you're worried about how you can. What do you do? So that was one of my biggest stresses in life is bills and then payroll. But payroll always trumped it because I wanted to make sure the employees that were going with me was comfortable. So here's a rule of thumb. You should always have at least 2 weeks or double the payroll. So if your payroll is $30,000, always have $60,000 in your account before you ever do anything as a business owner. Because now if you have 120, 140, 150, 160, go ahead and take some of that money, invest it. Go ahead and take some of that money and do whatever you want with it. But at the end of the day, make sure you take smart risks. Make sure you're comfortable so that if the wheels fall off in life, you're good. No different than your own personal bank account. Make sure that when you have, you got to know the number that makes sense for you. Right? You got to know the number you're wanting. But when you have that number, take that risk, man. I know a lot of people that are sitting on 25, 30, 40, 50, $60,000, even $100,000, and it's sitting in a bank account. And I laugh. And I'm like, well, how much money is it generating in that bank account? And they're like, well, zero. I'm like, well, why don't you go invest in something that's going to give you some interest and even compound interest? If you did it for a year, you're making money on your money, but right now you're losing it. The government's using your money. Like, why would you do that? And they're so afraid that if they let it go, it won't come back. I promise you guys, the number one rule, I've already said it before, you must give out to get back. Money is a tool. It's just an exchange. That's all it is. It's a way to exchange for whatever you provide. No different if you work for me as an employee, I pay you money for your services. Well, money can't work for you if you don't let it work for you. You guys understand that? You can't hold on to money and expect more money to come in. You can't. That's why even when you want to pay your bills, they always say, oh, I can't pay my bills. Well, I promise you, you're not going to track everything. You got to be, when you pay your bills, even though I've been there, I don't want to pay bills. You got to just pay your bills. Just pay your bills and watch what happens. Don't worry about paying your bills. Just pay your bills. It's going to come. I promise you, it's a belief system. It's hard. And then you got to have the growth mindset. The growth mindset, you got to be able to believe that anything is possible and you got to be able to grow. Because we talked about it before, one of the 6 human needs is significance and growth. And I promise you, if you don't have growth, if you don't have a growth mindset, if you're still making the same amount of money you made 10 years ago than you are now, you're failing. If you're still in the same income you are now than you are 10 years ago, you're failing. How do you know? Look at inflation right now. You got to have a growth mindset. See, you don't have an inflation problem, you got a money problem. and you got a mindset problem. You got to figure out how to increase my mindset. How do I have that growth mindset? You got to believe that you got to keep growing every day, nurture it. Act like you're the seed in the ground and you got to get the water and the soil and the sunshine and you're just neutral. You know that if I keep doing what I'm doing, if I keep working on myself, if I keep believing in myself, if I keep taking action, if I keep moving forward in that day, I'm going to grow. Because it's impossible not to grow if you're working on yourself every day. It's impossible. The problem why people quit and the reason why they don't have the longevity is they believe they're not growing fast enough. Well, newsflash, life doesn't happen on your timetable. You can't lose 20 pounds in a day. And if you did, you're going to die anyway. It takes discipline, consistent action every single day, consistent action every single day to grow. If a seed is in the ground and it never gets water every single day, it's just a seed and it'll die. It'll never be a tree. Promise you. So it takes time. Even if you're frustrated, you could be 50, 60, 70, 80 years old on this call. It's never too late. Grow. Have that mindset that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Go beyond your comfort zone. That's the only way you're going to develop and stay on top of the changes. You got to go way beyond. Quit wearing your damn elastic waistband bands. Quit wearing your elastic pants that you don't realize you gained 20 pounds on, that you feel special about because you can still fit into them, right? You know, actually buy something that fits you, and then that will tell you, right? Don't get comfortable. Comfort leads to non-growth, right? Comfort leads to non-growth. Then continuously seek out the knowledge every single day that to give yourself the advantage over others who don't have what you have. Something that leads to far greater wealth than most people is stuff that they can never even imagine, right? They don't believe it because nobody in their families believe it. You got to have the growth mindset. You got to believe it's possible. And then you got to have patience. Talked about this. You got to have patience. You got to just have patience and understand that if I take this step, you think it's 4 years of dental school, 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of dental school. Let me rephrase that. 5 years of undergrad, 4 years of dental school, 9 years of developing myself to be a dentist, of not making money the first 10 years of being a dentist, 19 years in development, 19 years in development before I had that breakthrough of financial success. 19 years. Sometimes people don't even put 19 days, 19 hours, 19 seconds. You got to be patient. The oak tree is not developed right away. Either are you. 20 pounds of consistent weight loss, 20 pounds of getting healthy, financial success, financial literacy, study, become elaborate, but be patient, have the right attitude. Those who possess a growth mindset view change not as an obstacle, but rather as an opportunity to learn and develop their skill set, resulting in a higher potential for prosperity that most could ever dream of achieving. I'm going to repeat that. I wrote that down. Those who possess a growth mindset view change not as an obstacle, but rather as an opportunity to learn and develop their skill set, resulting in a higher potential for prosperity that could be more than they ever dream of. You might say, what's my skill set? You can know that. I know there's certain people on the call that have different skill sets than I have. When I'm training other dentists, the first thing I'm going to ask them, the first thing that they're going to work on is, hey, what's your mindset, right? What's your mindset? What's your experience? But last but not least, what's their skill set? And you might say, why do you ask those questions? Because I promise you, one, without the right mindset, I'm already lost. I need to know their experience. Are you a 20-year-old dentist? You've been doing dentistry 20 years? So the reason why I want to know your experience, guess what? Can I teach an old dog new tricks, or do I got the young pup who I can mentor and guide, who's not stubborn, who's willing to change? That's important. But then what's their skill set? Because if I can improve your mindset and not your experience, but if I can improve your mindset and your skill set, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. But have patience. And then surround yourself with successful people. Surround yourself and become elaborate. We talk about this. How do I get new ideas? I surround myself with people that are better than me. Never, never, ever be a big fish in a small pond. Be that small fish. You know, everybody wants to be. I always laugh at people that try to be the smartest person in the room. And I probably was like that before, but why would anybody even know if you're the smartest or dumbest? You might say, well, I'm not as smart as so-and-so. Cool. Just keep your mouth shut and listen. Listen to the full conversation. And by the time you have a conversation with them, you're going to be the smartest person in the room because they didn't know you were smarter than dumbest. How about this? How about people that don't have money that want money? Why don't you take out somebody who makes more money than you, actually buy them dinner? And I know what people will say. You ready for this? Well, why should I have to buy their dinner? They have all the money. Well, don't you want the knowledge? Don't you want the ideas? If you're not willing to invest in yourself, they're not going to give you the nuggets. Surround yourself. Wealthy individuals that understand the power. And that's what wealthy individuals, how I became where I am today, while everyone else was sitting down at COVID watching Netflix, I started surrounding myself with people that I loved, emulated. I looked at people like, oh my God, what are they doing? I want to become that. Man, what is it? Can you guys see Rich back here? Do you guys see this Rich logo? I got to move my hand. The Rich logo, that's Richie Dolan. I didn't even know him or Ken K 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now with COVID. I went on a Zoom call and I surrounded myself with people that had a right mindset with me. I surrounded myself in people that I've inspired to be like, dream like. Do you know what happened? And only some of the family members on my call, those same people, Ken K and Richie Dolan, showed up to my 50th birthday party. It was the first time I've ever met them in person in my life. But it all started because I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like them. And I took the risk to surround myself. I invested in my future. And now I'm partners with them. I'm partners with Ken K and Richie Dolan. You'll see Legacy behind here. You'll see Rich. They're now my partners. But it never would have happened. It never would have happened if I didn't start with the right mindset and believe and start investing in myself. Wealthy individuals understand the power of surrounding themselves with inspiring people and successful peers. They understand it. It cultivates a supportive environment. It cultivates an environment for you to learn. It provides valuable resources, relationships, gives you different ideas. Then that is what facilitates even greater things present in your life. It is so clear why driven people choose to invest time connecting with people like them. They leverage associations, they leverage beneficial outcomes, they use each other as a tool. If you're not part of a mastermind, I'd encourage you to be a part of a mastermind. Take time to surround yourself with people that can make you better than you and be humbled enough to just shut up and learn. Be humbled enough to give people the praise that they deserve. Become a part of a family that's bigger than yourself. Christine, Gabby, Connor, Chandel, Andreas, be people on Facebook, people on YouTube that I can't see your names right now. Become bigger than yourself. Become an extension. Shane, learn from people. Mario, learn from people that are way better than you. Because there's always the ability to learn. There's always the ability to become successful. When you're humble enough and understand that, that's when the magic's going to happen. Wealthy people often have empowering beliefs that end up contributing to their overall success. They believe that money is a tool and it can be used to achieve personal goals and not seen merely as something spent frivolously. They also understand the importance of taking calculated risk even when faced with failure. To unlock all your financial success, it all starts with having an optimistic outlook and a dedication to personal accountability when making decisions. Guys, write down in the planner, you on Facebook, you on YouTube, email me at the info@thedentistco.com. And if you're serious about taking control of your future prosperity, then get this to me. Get this to me. Download it in the planner. Do what you got to do. Or go to the link. Go to thedentistco.com. Go anywhere you want in this call, guys. Let's make this happen. This is your life, and I get to grow with you. It's called Growing with Browski for a reason. Not only is this therapy for me, this is the ability for us to raise not only who we are, but people around us. When you become the best version of yourself, when you really accomplish your dreams and you're able to pass the torch on to somebody else, that's when the magic happens. Richie Dolan and I and Ken were talking. We were talking today. And I know I keep mentioning Richie and Ken because they're very pivotal in my life right now, and they're family. But Richie, we used to talk about how we want to make this huge impact, to have 1 million followers and all that stuff. Really, at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. It's How can we make the greatest impact in this world so that when we're gone, we really truly lived out our legacy? That's what it's about. So if you want to join this venture with me, like I said, let's go to the info at thedentistco.com. Click the link. And guys, tell me, folks, is this a value to you guys? Was this a great call today? Was this good? I hope you really, really enjoyed it, man. I hope it was great. Skylar, I love you, brother. And guys, let's not, please, at the end of the day, let's not forget the people at MSU. My thoughts and prayers are with them. I love you guys. And come next week, we're going to talk about the limiting beliefs of the poor, because it's absolutely, there is a limiting belief system. We talk about it every day. I love you. Much love. Until next week, we'll talk soon. Have a great day.